Oh, it's happening. Live video is starting now. All right, so I'm waiting to see. There it is. All right, we are live. Awesome. Thanks, guys, for joining me. Hopefully, we see some people showing up here asking us questions. I'll engage with the crew in a minute. If they do, I'll let you know what people are asking. I'm kind of keeping an eye on it in this separate window. But thank you for joining us. Um, this is the first core confidence student and the first core confidence parent that I've hosted. Up until this point, I've been hosting my high school students that I've had previously from my in-person job, but you guys represent this new phase of my life. So I'm just so thankful to have you. I think we are all friends here. We know each other. And full disclosure, I have known Jesse most of my life, since we were what, 12, 13, something like
Yeah,
that.
right in that middle school range.
Yeah. But that being said, Olivia is the real star of the show. Olivia, could you introduce yourself briefly? Maybe name, age, where you go to school, what your interests are.
Okay, so my name's Olivia. I go to school at like Highland Preparatory School in Orlando, and I'm 12. I'll be 13 soon. I'm excited about that. And I love horseback riding.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Jesse, what's your favorite thing about Olivia?
She is just amazing at whatever she puts her mind to. Uh, and I like seeing where she's gonna go. Horseback riding, as she just mentioned, is something I have had zero experience with myself growing up.
Two
So
two Long Island Jews. We didn't have
yeah,
many horses in our world.
no. So she knows way more than me about that.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I'm glad we could start with a positive. Olivia, what's your favorite thing about dad?
Um, well, there's a lot.
Okay, give
Um,
me one.
okay. I love that I love that he works for charity because I feel like it's like a very generous thing to do. And he works for a lot of charities, so I feel like it's just like something that's good for not only us but everyone else. And I just feel like
Mhm.
it's like a really generous thing.
He is a generous, kind person for sure. Thank you for sharing. Okay, so um, let's get into a little bit of the conversation here and talking about kind of what's going on in court confidence. I know a lot of people are interested. Jess, what was going on? I remember you said to me that maybe someone had recommended executive coaching,
Yep.
executive functioning coaching for Olivia. What was what was going on that you guys felt like there was a need for some more help?
Yeah, Olivia, she's extraordinarily talented and bright, but it's those uh, organizational skills. It's functioning. Olivia, we joke about simple things like getting up in the morning. She gets really annoyed when I now have a gong, that I would go in there with her
Yeah.
room. Uh, but as work really started picking up now that she's in middle school, just being able to organize herself was something we were looking for some help with, and we got advice from others in her school that you should that would be helpful for her. And so that's what caused us to seek it out. And right around the same time, you said, "Hey, guess what I'm doing?" And
Yeah,
I said, "This couldn't be more. Uh, your timing couldn't have been better for this." And
serendipitous.
yes, great word, great word.
Yes, using that $5 vocabulary. How is how did you perceive Olivia was feeling about herself and school when we started?
My perception was extraordinarily frustrated with all of it. And I think
Yeah.
she's laughing because she agrees.
Olivia, how did school feel for you before you started working with us?
Before I started, I mean, first of all, my campus, it's like a separate campus, so I had to get used to this like giant it's like a maze in there, so I was really stressed about getting lost and going to classes like not on time, going to the wrong classes. I was stressed about like a lot of things, but I feel like a lot more organized and stuff now.
Yeah.
I
That's
will
great.
say their campus is funny because their middle school is their seventh and eighth grade are the only parts that are separate.
Hmm.
The high school and the lower school are actually on the main campus, so they affectionately call seventh and eighth grade Puberty Island.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Out there on out there on Puberty Island.
Yeah, so she's on Puberty Island right now with the seventh and eighth grade. She'll be allowed back in ninth grade.
Olivia, do you have your journal with you?
Yep.
Amazing. We'll get to it in a minute. What were some of the things that were stressing you out around school? What parts of your school day had you feeling stressed and overwhelmed?
Well, on the first day of school, I remember it was like pretty easy, but they didn't give us any directions. And so when I was stressed about the hardest part of it was honestly just finding my classes and navigating through traffic and like figuring out how to stay organized with all of this because it's really like a maze. It's really scary how they set up the building. I mean, it was like I think I was crying the night before because I didn't know where I was supposed to go.
Oh
But
man.
I feel the hardest thing was just getting through it. My classes are not too hard.
Okay, so previously last year, were you okay? Your homework was okay? You had good routines?
Last year, towards the end of the year, I was up till midnight almost every single night doing homework,
Yikes.
and
Yikes.
it was pretty bad.
As a
Um,
sixth grader, as like a 12 year
as a
old?
as a sixth grader. And they loaded me with homework, and I wasn't able to finish it ever in class because they didn't give us enough time. And it was just very stressful. I was like having breakdowns at night.
Oh,
Um, it was not fun.
what was the hardest part about watching that, Jess? What was going through your heart and mind?
It was tough to see, you know, it so much of it for me was I recognized just she didn't have to be up till midnight, but a lot of it was organizing herself in a way that
Mm,
uh, created created that. But that's a huge adjustment with the level of work keeps jumping now each year.
yeah,
Plus her after school activity, especially with us, horseback riding is not on campus, so we have to drive
yeah.
25 minutes each way, just after school. So a lot of it to me was I wasn't sure how to help herself, and she was just getting stuck into that midnight window um, every night, and I didn't have the tools on what to suggest to her, other than reaching out to teachers, just saying, where she's at,
Were
and
they
trying to get
like
help.
helpful? Did they have recommendations?
Some of it flew in the face of what Olivia wanted in terms of she likes to complete things. And a lot of times I said it's okay, tell her you know, just come in with what she did and tell her to go to sleep. But she didn't want that. Like, so she's no, I got to get this done. So even what they were even saying she's okay, and she was saying no, I'm not. I need to do it. So I had to even get through that, and
Well,
and
I was saying like I was being hyper focused because I knew that the next day I would have more homework, so I was trying to finish it that night, even if it meant staying up till
yeah,
midnight, because
So
I
you were
was
just in
worried
this
that
loop though. You were just in this loop that you were
yeah.
just kind of like constantly just treading water, trying to like not drown.
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds really, really stressful. And I'm
Hmm.
just so thankful that you guys found your way here. As we come up on 9:15, I see some people starting to sign in. Feel free to drop a message in the chat, say hi. All right. We'd love to have some questions from you. I definitely could keep the conversation flowing, but it would be great to see if people want to ask questions or participate in the conversation. But if we move on, okay, so we talked here about kind of the struggle, being up to midnight, being overwhelmed, um, feeling kind of scared and frustrated with school. As a parent, you're watching your kid and you're trying to get her to like let go of some stress, but she's so driven that it was kind of hard for her to let go of anything. And it was just really in a tough breakthrough. So let's talk a little bit now about we're just over 6 weeks in. Um, maybe Olivia, if you could take out your journal real quick, um, show all these nice people what we've been working on in class. So we have something we call the 1% playbook, and we basically are trying to get 1% better every day. The goal is not to have a overnight transformation, but to have a steady transformation in which we acknowledge that we have the power to make changes. And Olivia, if you don't mind, can you share with the community here? Can you share what your 12-week goals are with the things that we're trying to accomplish in our time together?
Yes. Okay. So we have three goals. Well, okay, I don't know what I'm trying to say. So my first goal was designing a morning routine, and I accomplished that in 2 weeks using SMART goals. And my goal right now is designing an evening routine, and that's using SMART goals with a time bound of 4 weeks. And I'm keeping track using a chart so that I can see what time I went to bed, what time I started getting ready, and my routine, just so I can try to organize um better like routines to help me get to bed on time. And my main goal is having positive self-image
Mm,
because I feel like when I wake up on time in the mornings, I'm always in a better attitude. And if I go to sleep on time, that's like a benefit for my morning. So that's why I have these two goals right now to help me get to my big 12-week one,
yeah, what's your big 12-week goal?
the positive self-image one.
That's the big one. I see.
Yeah.
Yes. Um, right, because we've been building little pieces to get there along the way, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of people might not really realize that there is like a really direct correlation between executive functioning and feeling good about yourself. But when you feel confident and in control, then you have the capacity to do things um, that help you feel elevated and help you feel like your best version of yourself. Um, Jesse, as you have kind of watched this stuff unfold, um, I know you guys all give a good space to Olivia to be her own person, but Olivia also recently shared with me on a call that you were on a trip and she downloaded basically the whole course to you. So I expect you to be on my team teaching in the next go around. But what changes have you started to notice in Olivia since we've started? She and I have started to work together.
So, um, one, confidence. Um, she's she's developing a plan. She's able to, I mean, we talked about how she's staying up to midnight every night in sixth grade, yet she's in seventh grade. The work has ramped up even more. Her activities have ramped up more, and frankly, her social circles have ramped up more. She has friends she wants to communicate with. Um, Yet her time management and her ability to organize all that within a day, go to sleep on time, wake up most of the time on time. We're still that's still something we work on, but she
Hmm,
does a pretty good job. But even on her own, before I would have to be the one to get her up, and she's working really hard. But the point is, like, she's made it goals to change these things, and
yeah.
um, we've tried to get her different sources of help along the way, and it's it's been great to hear from her specifically saying, of all the things you've tried to do for me, this is the one that by far is helping me. Like, I don't even know why you're doing these other things and spending money on it, is what she even flat out told me. She
Yeah.
goes, she goes, this, like, I can't, and that's I didn't know, Jason, I didn't know what to expect when
Yeah.
we started this, but this has gone beyond my wildest expectations, and where she's at. And we're only 6 weeks in.
Yeah.
So that's part of why I'm on this call with you. I know we know each other a long time, but
Yeah.
like it's rather remarkable how she's taking to this.
That's amazing. Thank you for saying that. What is it, Olivia, what is it about the class? What's the like element of the class that is having that greatest impact for you?
Well, I will say that like I mean, all of it, just like the goal setting and understanding how to set a goal so that in my future, like I can set goals for other things that need to be fixed. It's just like, for me, it's just like a really helpful source to help me like just stay organized and don't feel stressed about stuff because I feel like I'm always having stress and anxiety and I'm so tired of having that. And I feel like just learning how to set goals and actually doing them and just improving them and seeing how it works is like a really beneficial thing to me.
Hmm.
And I just I feel like it's helping me a lot.
Just the fact that you're even able to have those words is really just so meaningful that you could talk about yourself in such a mature way. Um, why do you think your confidence has changed?
Well, I think it's changed. Well, I do want to say one thing before I explain. I've I've always had a ton of stage fright and even presenting things in class, I could not talk like at all. And this year we've had to present like a million things already and I've like been able to actually talk and smile through the entire thing. And I feel like it's from this because I
Hmm.
feel more organized by learning. Like I feel like I don't know how to explain this, but learning how to do stuff, but not just saying, okay, do this, but actually going
Mhm.
through the steps of learning how to do it helps with everything.
Yeah, so that like when we do things, we take an overwhelming task and we chunk it into manageable pieces so
Hmm.
that, and it doesn't matter, like that's where we pick a goal and we work towards that goal. But you're saying that that's transferred. That's what I hear you saying, that there's some transference from what we've been doing in class to what's actually showing up in your day to day life,
Yeah.
which is just so encouraging to hear.
Yeah,
Um,
Jason, I'll add, what I see from her that's impressive is that she is, um, it goes, she's taking the tools you're teaching and applying it all over the place. So
mm,
it's the teach a person how to fish idiom, so to speak, where I see her applying this in ways that go beyond school. We've talked a lot about, getting through class but, just ways of going about life. Like in it, as I often put, that, schools have a hard time teaching development in that area.
mhm.
But seeing her apply what you're learning in class in places that you didn't tell her to do, you didn't teach her to do, the class didn't go over. She's like, this will transfer here. Let me go do that. That's been one of the more impressive parts of this is that she's learning how to learn with this.
That's amazing. That is the point, right? It's that
Yeah,
metacognition. We talk all the time about taking things and putting them right here in the prefrontal cortex so you can think about them, and then from there you can address things and solve problems. Has it changed the vibe at home at all? Has there been uh, any easing of tension as far as getting out the door and doing things now that Olivia is feeling more um, in ownership of herself?
absolutely. Nothing's perfect, and she
No,
has a younger sister who,
I
the
was
two
going to
of
say
them.
there's a wild card known as Natalie. Yes.
Yes. So there's always a wild card in the mornings. But I mean, this year compared to last year, it's night and day.
Yeah.
And I see that improvement. I mean, just the fact, one thing I really appreciated when she was really little was how well she slept. And she's translated that into preteen, and she still is very can be very difficult to awaken, and unfortunately, Mary and I are both not morning people, and genetics are funny, and
Yeah.
that's translated to her as well.
Yeah.
And so all of us struggle to get up in the morning, and but her ability to pull herself up, get ready, and her routines are longer now as well, just in terms of the things she wants to do to get ready for school, makeup, different things. And I don't know a thing about makeup. So
No, but we
Yeah.
talk about it in class. It's a topic of conversation because it takes time. And
Yeah.
she tells me Natalie was giving her advice on how to do her makeup routine. So we have your hands full with that one too.
Well, and look, this is great in that Natalie is watching Olivia, whether
Yeah,
Olivia knows it or not, good and bad,
yeah,
um, on the things she's doing without Olivia saying anything. So,
yeah,
her improving, how she manages this only benefits Natalie as well, uh, peripherally.
Monkey see, monkey do.
yeah. You guys are both a couple monkeys, that's for sure. I'm going to say here, I just want you to know that John Waldeck, Dan's dad, is watching. Um, and it's pretty cool because his granddaughter is actually in Olivia's class. So there's a couple of, there's three Wanto families that ended up with kids in core competence. So I just think it's shout out to Wantagh.
Yeah.
Think about the where we all come from. Not all everybody, obviously, but this us. Yeah. Um, Olivia, save me from myself. Olivia, Olivia, um, a lot of people say that it's hard to learn online, and I tend to agree. Um, but I also know that what we're doing is not academic. So I'm not trying to teach you how to solve a math problem. So, can you talk a little bit about how you feel about the online learning in general, and then how you feel about it with us?
I do. I mean, I have been homeschooled, so I do know kind of like differences between in person and online with
Okay.
academics too. Um, but I actually kind of like it because I feel like it's like I'm in my own space. I have my own supplies. I don't have to use school stuff. I can sit in an actual comfortable chair, not the like random ones they give me at school. And I feel like it just sets a better vibe for me to focus. And and like I can like actually understand thoroughly what everyone's saying. And um
Talk
I
about
do
that.
every
Go
now and
ahead.
then like look at back at these notes and I'm like, wow, these are actually pretty decent notes. And I don't know, I rarely ever take notes unless I'm told to take notes. And
Yes.
I feel like when I'm in a space that I enjoy, a space that has like me written everywhere, I can focus better, write more better notes. That didn't sound right, but
Yeah.
better
You're more
notes.
you're more willing to dig in when you're in a place that feels comfortable to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let me say, when she said she's been homeschooled, that was when everyone was homeschooled during COVID.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, that was
Yes.
COVID. I
Okay.
didn't mean it
And
like
and
I was
and
like
and Zoom was like, it was brand new back then, you
Yeah.
know? I mean, the conspiracy theorists might tell us that Zoom made COVID happen because they made a lot of money, you know? But we were all doing Zoom then like out of necessity. And it was hard as a teacher. It was very hard. And yet over the last 5 years, this has actually developed into a tool where we can do polls rather, sorry. We can do polls, we can do breakouts. There's times when we're one-on-one, there's times when we're in small group. Like there's a lot of ways that we can actually utilize that technology to keep things going. Last question about the class, and then we'll have another question to wrap everything up. Olivia, what about the groups? A lot of people want their kids to have one-on-one tutoring so that their kids can get really concentrated, specific attention. Um, I'm wondering if you feel there's any either advantage or disadvantage to us being in groups.
I will say like I love being in groups. I love being able to hear from like other people and what they think because I know that some people have like somewhat related goals and they all have, you know, the same time boundaries and um it's kind of fun hearing from other people because you can give them advice and you can give them like what you think is doing well and maybe apply that to what you're doing. But I will say one-on-one time does improve like your concentration on your goal, not what others are on their goals because their goals are different. And it's good to hear from like one person on how you could improve just like about whatever you're trying to do. And I feel like one-on-one time is great, but I also love being in groups. Like I love both.
Mm-hmm.
But there are um advantages and disadvantages with both.
and we have that one-on-one time every class where we have a brief moment. And Olivia is someone who frequently stays after class just to kind of wrap things up and kind of put things together, and maybe ask a last minute question. So I really do appreciate that. Um, I know, Jesse, that there's people watching, and there will be people watching for a few days. And I post this inside of my parent Facebook group so that parents can get advice on ways to support their kids. Um, so I'm wondering if you had a parent who was feeling, like, I don't know, this seems interesting, but will my kid really do it? Um, what would you want to tell them?
I had those same reservations at first, uh, and uh, Olivia makes sure to let us know now when the meetings are coming. She's excited about them. I've never seen her
Yeah.
take to something like this. Um, and I, she is, I, I've just been floored at what this has meant to her, seeing the fruit of that come across. I've always been big on developing these skills. And I said genetics are a funny thing. I went through probably most of my life with undiagnosed ADHD, um, until I was probably in my 30s, and then they said you have one of the worst cases we've ever seen. And
I didn't know that.
Thanks.
I'm like, oh,
I knew
good,
you had ADHD, but not that bad.
yeah. And and Jason, we have a mutual friend we always think of when it's ADHD,
Yes.
and I just never thought of myself that way.
Yeah.
But it's
Well,
funny
yours
how
was
it
your
functions.
superpower. Yours has allowed you to soar to great heights as well. We talk about that. ADHD is
Yeah.
not necessarily always a bad thing if you know how to harness it.
I think it was really good, but you have to there was a point during secondary school for me where suddenly things became a struggle and I didn't have these kinds of resources. And as an adult, I now realize how critical that is, and I've been searching for those solutions. And
Mm.
sometimes sometimes something comes across and and uh, as you said, serendipitous, uh, for you to be starting this at the same time where I was searching for that solution.
Yeah.
And but not only looking for the solution, but whether you and I agreed this was a great idea, it was, it came down to how does Olivia take to it, and seeing that going even better than I expected by far, and I expected a lot, uh, is just been nothing short of remarkable.
Thank you. And we're just over halfway through too. We still have another 6 weeks to keep building, and we'll be talking at the 12-week call when the course comes to an end. We'll be talking about our offerings for ongoing support and how we can continue to have Olivia involved with the coaching and the mentorship, in a different capacity to make sure that we're supporting her, and that it's not something where the class ends and then we're like, all right, thanks for the money, see you later. But how do we continue to make sure that the results are long lasting, and as the problems change, that she has someone that she can turn to for coaching and support and guidance. um, and I would just hate to lose track of her too. So I'm already planning a trip down to see you guys in Jersey over the Christmas break, and then spring break down in Florida. So we'll definitely continue to see each other, not just virtually but in person. Olivia, if there's a teenager watching and they're like, "What is core confidence?" Um, you can have the last word here. What is to you? What is core confidence?
Well, I would say, okay, I gotta this might sound weird because I'm not exactly sure how to explain, so just deal with me for a second.
We're dealing.
So I would say core confidence is not, it's not just saying, okay, you need to be confident now. Like, let's do this, and that's how you're confident, okay? It's not just like, okay, well, I'm gonna do that. It's like, how do I do that? And then you learn how, keyword how, to do it, not just doing it because you're told. There's I mean, I've learned that always a reason for something. It's not just you do it because you have to do it. It's you do it because it improves something in your life. And the more, I mean, I like to relate a lot of things to the 10,000 hour thing.
Yep.
And it's like where you practice like 10,000 hours, the littlest, the longest, it improves everything. So I would say, like, if I'm relating it to that, the more you practice goal setting, the more you like get in better habits and figuring out how to um go through like go through hard things that are happening in your life. It can improve confidence and how you feel about yourself. Like it can just improve everything. You can just be like one of those like happy people who are always happy, and they don't seem sad, but they are, because they're always like, you can just see they're happy, and they figure out coping methods to help them get through hard times. And I would say core confidence is about learning how to cope and using different types of tools, like goal setting. And I feel like it improves a lot.
Amazing. Thank you guys for your time. Olivia, I'm noticing that it's getting later, and I don't want to add to your late nights.
Oh,
I
don't worry. I'm already
appreciate.
ready. I'm
I
already ready
know
for
you're
bed.
ready for bed.
Yeah, actually, I got ready before this call.
This is see what I'm talking about. Routines, baby. Olivia, pound it out. Come on, give me some knucks. Jesse, I'll take some knucks from you too, buddy.
All right.
I hope to see you guys soon. Much love. That was awesome. And Stacy Pap says, great job, Olivia. Thank you,
Thank
Stacy,
you.
for dialing in. Thank you, everyone, for dialing in. Thank you for the people that will watch this over the next couple weeks as it sits there on the internet. Feel free to reach out. I am Jason Pergament. I am the founder of Onward Rising. I am the founding teacher of the Core Confidence Program, and I would love the opportunity to help your child produce the kind of results that we're seeing here. It's definitely possible. Reach out and let me know. Thank you guys. Everyone have a great night.
Thanks.
Thank you.